is up? Welcome back to my channel, and hello if you are new. My name is Michaela. I'm a 23-year-old foster mom making videos about motherhood, foster care, cooking, cleaning, lifestyle hauls, all that good stuff. You see me looking down, I have notes for this video. On Instagram, if you don't follow me there, if the link is in the description box, please go do that. That is where I ask a lot of questions and I post more general updates there, obviously, than I do here on YouTube. I asked for some questions. I was planning on doing a Q&A, and so many of the questions were the same thing. And everyone wanted to know how COVID-19 has affected my personal foster case, as well as just like foster care in general. So this is obviously what this video is about. If you're new, don't forget to subscribe. And I'm just going to jump on into this. I did post on some of my foster parent support groups and asked, for other people's opinions on how things have changed with COVID, because obviously I have one case and I have a couple of foster parent friends and everyone's experience has been different. So I did reach out to see what everyone else was dealing with during this COVID-19 pandemic. Not all of these are going to be my personal experiences, but I will definitely clarify if it is. The biggest thing, and it's, even in my case, has been court hearings have been so postponed. I mean, I live in a small southern town and they didn't even have any court for 4 months. Nothing. They didn't do anything for 4 months. If you follow my channel, you know that we were waiting for a final TPR hearing that we had scheduled in March. That hearing was pushed back to May, then pushed back to September, and is now pushed back to January. So, and nothing has changed in the case. This is literally only COVID. Nothing else has changed. So what is that, like 9 months of delay? I mean, that is so insanely frustrating. I feel so bad for my poor foster kids who are just ready for some permanency. It's absolutely infuriating. It's happening to not just my kids, it's happening to everyone. So it's awful. So yes, court hearings are extremely delayed, extremely pushed back. We also had an annual hearing that was 3 months late, and those are apparently on low priority right now. So yes, and honestly, I just feel like anything involving kids cases and foster kids cases, these need to be first and top of the list. Like, it's just anything that involves these kids and kids' lives, and it's just, I don't understand it. It's so frustrating, and I could rant on that forever. But anyway, this is not my personal experience. We have not had visits, are not part of our current case, but if other people, of course, are having visits and they stopped all in-person visits and they went to Zoom or FaceTime visits, which obviously it's better than nothing. But you think of somebody who has a 1-year-old or infants, they're not going to interact on a phone call. They're missing that contact. And even toddlers, I cannot imagine trying to get my kids to be still for a FaceTime visit. It's honestly just, it would be impossible. I mean, it would last no time because there's no way that they would stand still. And along with that, so has therapy is over Zoom and FaceTime now. And that is obviously not going to be as effective, especially for kids whose most kids' therapy is play therapy. Most people have just stopped therapy, and like, we just had to stop because there was nothing we could do. And it's infuriating. And for teens that are in therapy, they have no privacy. Like, you're on Zoom and here you are having this full-on conversation and you are maybe in your room, but who's listening? That's frustrating. So services have just, those kind of services have just really depleted. Obviously, our case, it has slowed permanency, but not just adoptions, but reunification. Obviously not with adoptions. Most adoptions have just been continuously pushed out, but reunifications, I've seen a lot of people that have had it pushed back and they've just been stuck waiting. But also I've seen cases that are just expedited. There's like no transition period because they don't want people going back and forth spreading the germs and stuff. So they just automatically jump right in and push to reunification without hardly any transition phase. And they speed it along just to get it over with and get it out of the way. And that is terrifying. Oh my gosh. Part of me understands, but it's just a lot. Talk about visits. Obviously all social worker visits. So we usually get one a month from our child worker, and then we have one every 3 months for our recruitment and certification worker. Every single one of those have been via FaceTime, which is good that they're still doing them. Although we did have like 2 months where we went without them, but you can't really see and check up and talk to these kids via FaceTime. And so I fear that a lot is being missed and that things are just being overlooked because, you know, you can't get as in depth. If you're here, you see things, and it's much different via FaceTime. So I can imagine that there are a lot of things that, you know, social workers can't check and can't see via FaceTime that they would if they were in person. So I hope that there's not abuse and neglect going on that is being missed because of this. Next on the list is like a loss of connection. This is happening for everyone. You know, you're not getting out, you're not being able to talk to people as much, you're not being able to socialize. They're losing these connections with their bios, with possibly their bio siblings and things like that are maybe in different houses. And that can be really hard to come back from. I can imagine it would be really difficult. Next is burnout. Foster parent burnout. Every parent is burnout right now. I've ventured to say we're all exhausted. We're all with our kids 24/7. And like personally, I've never wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. Not that I don't respect the hell out of stay-at-home moms, because I do. It's just not for me. I've always known it wasn't going to be for me. But here I am working from home and I'm with them 24/7. And it just, you know, it gets to be a lot. It gets to be exhausting and it gets to be frustrating. So it could definitely cause some burnout. Next is a lack of foster parent training. This is not only accurate to current foster parents, because usually there's lots of different trainings that we can go to and different things that we can learn, and it's a lot less frequent now that you know, we're not doing anything in person. There's a lot less classes offered, especially in the beginning. They're working towards getting more on Zoom, but honestly the most stuff that's been on Zoom has just been the required trainings, the basic required trainings, and we're missing a lot of some of that extra training. But it definitely is getting better, but especially in the beginning there was a lack of training. Next is nowhere to place kids. Like, a lot of foster families are refusing to take in kids right now because they're afraid of COVID and they're not going to be taking in kids. So they're having a really hard time finding places to put kids right now with people not taking them. And then we need more foster parents. We always need more foster parents, but the trainings are few and far between and they're not as in depth. So when their foster parents finally get in, they haven't been as well trained as they would have before this. At least it's my opinion that I don't think that they're gonna have the same training that they would before. We've been asked to put recruitment signs in our yard and just anything to try to get foster parents. So it's pretty bad right now, and we live in a small southern county, so I can imagine that in some of the bigger cities and states that it's pretty overwhelming. This is a personal experience of mine, but I have been not allowed in a court hearing. And as a foster parent, I have a right to be there. And we have a local judge or two who does not do a good job with letting in foster parents. And it's infuriating, and it frankly pisses me off, pisses off a lot of people. The hearing that I'm specifically talking about, luckily it was nothing major, but I like to be involved in every hearing. And I waited on Zoom for 3 hours to be let in, and only to never be let in. So it's infuriating. And the last thing is everyone's mental health. Not only foster parents, but children's mental health. It's just, I think, not even necessarily related to foster care, but it's just everyone's drained. Everyone is stuck together all the time, but then we're away from our loved ones, and you know, we can't do much, especially in small towns like this. There's nothing to do, especially now that it's getting colder. Over the summer, we were able to get out and play in the pool and have water balloon fights and take long walks and stuff like that. But now that it's getting colder, that stuff's not possible. Everyone's getting cranky. My two boys are, I mean, all three of my kids are together all the time, but my boys are really close in age, and they're just at each other's necks all the time. Like, I feel like a referee because they're just at each other's throats all the time. And it's because they're together 24/7. They have no time apart. So everyone is just tired and cranky, and it's just, it's been hard. COVID-19 has been hard on everybody. This is just my list of some of the stuff that has been going on in the foster care system, and I don't claim that this is all, because there's no way it is. So if you have some more information, definitely leave it down in the comments below. This is just some of the information that I have gathered and I've personally experienced since COVID-19 started. Every time I think it's getting better, it just gets worse again. So I really hope that, you know, they can kind of work some of these little kinks out that have been occurring, and that I definitely hope that our court case does not get pushed back again, because 9 months is enough, not counting all the delays that we had before that. But that is it. That is everything for this video. Like I said, if you have anything else, any more information, please leave it down in the comments below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.